Hi, my name is Angela Chandler, and I am the school counselor at a pre-K through 5 elementary school in Tuscaloosa City Schools in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I've worked since I was 14 years old, and I grew up in a working class family with tremendous amount of love, but also a tremendous amount of mental health issues on both of my parents' sides. So experienced some of that early childhood trauma and the effects of generational trauma as well. I spent many years working full time, like I said, since I was 14 years old, and especially during my undergraduate time from 2002 until 2010. Yes, over 8 years. I've worked in retail, the insurance claims industry through 7 major hurricanes in 2004 and 2005. For a small mortgage refinancing firm and for a chemical solutions company as their office manager. And then in the restaurant industry as a server and bartender. Strangely, in that order. I began my undergraduate career in 2002, majoring in early childhood special education. But I was dissuaded by this from many people. Everyone told me that, I would never be able to make very much money, and that the job was just an impossible job, and that they would say, you're capable of doing so much more. You're capable of doing so much more. And so I ultimately changed my major to business and focused on economics and accounting. I realized my true passion for working with children while volunteering as a big sister through the Big Brothers Big Sisters organization. A school counselor for my little sister was such a powerful advocate for her and really worked hard on her behalf to make sure that her academic and social and emotional needs were met. So I switched gears. After beginning graduate school for counseling, I began working as a substitute teacher, a paraprofessional, and then as a 7th grade math teacher. The experience that I had as a paraprofessional in a self-contained special education class and then as a general education math teacher, although somewhat brief, gave me great insight into the struggles that our teachers regularly face. I worked in a low-performing Title I school in Central Florida. It was directly across the street from Section 8 housing. Attempting to teach students how to compute the circumference of a circle or how to perform algebraic operations while they struggled with basic addition and subtraction fact fluency was the least of the difficulties. I watched the teachers around me who worked so diligently and who were passionate about what they were teaching and were doing their very best every day to change the lives of these students. I saw how the basic unmet needs of these students impeded much of their learning. There were so many fights, so many discipline issues. I began my first job as a school counselor after graduating from UCF at another, quote-unquote, low-performing Title I school in Mulberry, Florida. Had a large population of English learners, including the children of many migrant farm workers. Again, I watched amazing educators working diligently and tirelessly and giving their every day to teach these students. As a school counselor for over 500 students in that school, I worked day in and day out to form small groups and provide classroom lessons and to do individual interventions to support students who were struggling emotionally and behaviorally. It was also at that school that I had a heavy load of non-counseling responsibilities. Late nights and long hours wouldn't cover my workload. It seemed like every time I stuck my lunch in the microwave, and my walkie-talkie would go off, and there was another student throwing a desk or having some sort of mental health crisis. After moving back to my home state of Alabama, I began working for Tuscaloosa City Schools. I first worked for 2 alternative programs, Success Prep and Stars Academy. Success Prep was a program designed for students who needed to make up credits to get back on track with their cohort, and Stars Academy is the behavior alternative program that we have for K through 12 students. At Stars, I watched many students come through of all ages for a wide variety of offenses. And some students who purposely got themselves in trouble so that they could return to us. As a counselor there, I was able to develop strong supportive relationships with many students. And then there was COVID. Success Prep, unfortunately, was cut due to funding issues. I now find myself as a school counselor at a very high achieving pre-K through 5 school with less than 20% of economically disadvantaged students. We have students from all over the world. There are over 17 languages represented in our school today. So I teach whole group lessons on learning strategies, self-management skills, and social, emotional, and emotional regulation skills. And I pride myself on knowing all of our students by name. There may be a time or two that I struggle with that, but for the most part, I do know all of our students. And getting to see the students here in the classroom, getting to teach them and getting to see them read and write and getting to see their listening skills and their social skills in action is pivotal to that. I get to really see the strengths and struggles of all of our students, and I'm able to advocate on their behalf so much better having all of this knowledge of them. The recommended ratio of school counselors to students is 250 to 1. And so right now, today, we currently have 653 students enrolled in our school. We share a social worker with our high school feeder school, and he stays very busy with the high school and is able to help at times. The daily work of a school counselor doesn't stop with classroom lessons, small group counseling, individual counseling, and monitoring student data. It also includes a great deal of connecting families and students with outside resources for food, for shelter, for psychological support, for academic support. So it's an intense job. I personally lament the poor education that I received from many of the teachers I had growing up. I grew up in a very poor community with a lot of kids with a lot of behavior issues and a lot of probably experiencing a great deal of trauma. I look back and I see how much the really good teachers that I had changed my life. But honestly, I'm angry and lament some of the things that some of my teachers got away with while I was growing up. So I'm so thankful for how far our education system has come, especially here in Alabama. And I'm so thankful to be able to bring my incredibly intelligent little girls here with me to this school and for them to get such a great educational experience. I absolutely love my job, and I care deeply for all the students that I've had. I still have students reaching out to me from my time teaching in Florida to students that I've had as a school counselor. And I know what it is to work hard. I've worked 80-plus hour weeks handling insurance claims after hurricanes. I've worked doubles on my feet in restaurants while pregnant. I've worked, the good Black Friday in retail. But the work of educators is the heaviest that I've experienced. The physical, emotional, intellectual, and even spiritual demands of this work are astounding. And I see why burnout is so prevalent. I hear the concerns of so many teachers and other educators. And I'm so passionate about education and about altering the trajectory of all students' lives in a positive way. I believe that there are simple solutions to a number of the challenges that we face. I'm particularly passionate about the role of school counselors in schools. We are tasked with monitoring student achievement, attendance, and discipline data, and developing true relationships with students that allow them to reach their full potential. But we cannot do our best work when those around us don't fully understand our role and when policies do not support our work. I would love the opportunity to learn more and to share my experiences and thoughts with change makers and to be able to help increase positive change in the education system in Alabama and in the U.S. Thank you so much for your time.